Okay, let's get right to it. Hello, everybody. It is Friday, right around 12:30 p.m. Wanted to give you an update. I know everybody's wanting an update, a video update, and briefing on what's happening with this storm system. It is impressive, and it's really going to get impressive as we head into this evening. So, let's get right into it here. All right, what you're looking at now, this is the radar from the Twin Cities Metro. I just wanted to show you real quick. We have a lull in the activity, although there is some shower and actually some heavy showers, spotty showers and thunderstorms over southeastern Minnesota. But for the most part, southern Minnesota, western Wisconsin, void of any precipitation now. So that's good news. Of course, that's going to fill in as we get into later this afternoon and evening and as precipitation explodes over the region. I did want to show you what happened overnight last night. Look at this. Look at some of these rain totals in excess of an inch for many of us. A half inch for a good chunk of the metro too, but yeah, no doubt, real healthy rains across much of southern portions of central Minnesota and a good chunk of Wisconsin. Here's your moisture channel loop, the water vapor imagery from outer space. No doubt you can see the spin and the twist in the atmosphere now over South Dakota and northern Nebraska. That is what's going to cause a lot of problems, not only in Minnesota and Wisconsin, but in Iowa, Illinois, and areas south of there as we transition from snow over southern portions of central Minnesota to severe weather across Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois. No doubt it is going to be an energetic system that, again, literally explodes as we get into the next 12 to 18 hours. Here you can see the system on your infrared satellite imagery measuring the temperature of the cloud tops here. And look at what's happening over South Dakota. It's snowing hard out there over much of South Dakota as cloud tops are increasing in intensity, or they're cooling in South Dakota. And you can kind of see, I'm going to put it here on this last frame here, you can kind of see some development now over eastern South Dakota and now southwestern Minnesota. That's going to be the explosion of snow and rain and some ice pellets over the rest of southern Minnesota as this system moves east across northern Iowa. And you can now start to see some of the genesis of a severe weather outbreak over northern Missouri, portions of Iowa, and eventually into Illinois. Here's your visible satellite imagery. Beautiful looking storm now wrapping up over South Dakota and northern Nebraska. These clouds, these are moisture laden clouds here over central South Dakota. You can see the bumpiness to them as they pinwheel slowly but surely to the east. And as that system enters northern Iowa, you're going to see the clouds get real bumpy, for lack of a better word. They're going to increase with some height to the clouds over southern Minnesota. And that's going to be our potential for thunder snow, I think, over sections of southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. It's going to be interesting to see where that thunder snow sets up over the next 12 hours. Look at the temperatures. You talk about a temperature gradient. Look at this. I think some temperatures here in southern Iowa are going to reach close, if not exceed 80 degrees this afternoon. So the potential for severe weather here in eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin is real. In fact, there could even be some severe storms in southeastern Minnesota. So don't be surprised if that happens. All right. Again, that would be for sections of southeastern Minnesota. And then in turn, look at what's happening over South Dakota. Temperatures are in the 30s now in South Dakota. Look at this, even in the 20s in portions of South Dakota. So pretty interesting situation setting up from a temperature standpoint, with temperatures good, 40 to 50 degree difference between central and eastern South Dakota and central Iowa. All right, and that puts southern Minnesota in the battle zone. Here's the winds at 20 to 25,000 feet. This is one of the big reasons why we're going to have heavy snows over southern Minnesota and then severe weather over eastern Iowa. Look at how strong these winds are as they're nosing up into southeastern Minnesota from Illinois and eastern Iowa and the southeastern Minnesota. And usually it's on the nose or on the left front quad of a strong jet streak like that is where you will get significant lift, and I think that's going to happen here over southern Minnesota, western Wisconsin as we go through the next 12 hours, right in this area. And then, of course, this would be the area of severe weather in Iowa. So mid to upper level winds are perfect for significant snow across our region. Here's your future radar. It's from the NAM 3K computer model guidance, and here it is. The precipitation literally explodes over southern Minnesota. You can see the timestamp here by about 8 p.m. Just a whole array of precipitation types over southern Minnesota, western Wisconsin. But early this evening, it all quickly changes over to snow. And there you can see it here. And by the time we get to about midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning, it is going to be snowing heavily over a large section of southern Minnesota and Wisconsin. We're talking snow at 1 to 2 inches per hour, maybe even heavier than that, which would just be mind-boggling if that happens. You don't normally get 2-inch plus snow rates in this part of the country. Rarely do you get that. And then by sunrise tomorrow, you see 7 a.m. tomorrow, that snow and precipitation should be out of here for most of us. This is the European computer model guidance now. We're zoomed in to basically the Twin Cities metro and Rochester area, Eau Claire, and Mankato areas. But here we are. And here's the Twin Cities metro, by the way. Watch what the European computer model guidance does for snow totals. It places the axis of heaviest snows across the southern Twin Cities metro, basically in between the downtowns of Minneapolis and St. Paul and Rochester. Right in between there, that would be the Cannon Falls, Dakota County, Scott County, and then points south of there, Goodhue counties. All those areas here in southern Minnesota seem to be the bullseye for the heaviest snow. But we're not going to take much if we can move that snow band even 30, 40 miles further north and west. That puts all of the Twin Cities metro in this real heavy snow. So that easily could happen. So take this with a grain of salt. But anyway, right now it appears that much of the Twin Cities metro, much of southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin are in for a good 4 to 8 inches of snow plus, with some of us getting even more than that. That's the reason why I've got some pretty serious travel issues expected across southern portions of central Minnesota, and then of course a good chunk of Wisconsin. If you're traveling this evening and overnight in any sections of southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin, you're risking it. Have a plan B. Just don't do it. Don't even get on the highways, especially as you get into outstate Minnesota. You get outside of the Twin Cities metro, it is really going to be ugly by midnight tonight. So don't get caught off guard. And then here's the latest 24-hour snow potential map from Novak Weather. And here I've increased the snow totals, especially from the Twin Cities metro on east and northeast into a good chunk of Wisconsin, where I think 8-10 inches plus of snow is a pretty good bet, and that's within a 5 to 6 hour period. So it's going to really snow heavily from about 7-8 p.m. until about 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, these snow totals could be conservative for some of us, but I don't think there's any doubt that we're going to be dealing with significant snow. All right, hey, thanks Dennis and the crew over there at DZ Lawn Care for sponsoring this update. I really appreciate it. They're located in the Twin Cities metro, by the way. You need any needs for your properties, get them to look nice, or plowing, or whatever it is, landscaping, give Dennis and his crew a call there at DZ Lawn Care. Thank you very much, Dennis, for sponsoring this, and I know all the viewers appreciate it. All right, hey, that's your video weather briefing. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Take care, and don't get caught off guard out there this evening and overnight tonight.